right, so this is going to be another channel update. I'm down to episode 9 of season 4, Renegade. Making very slow progress. Went to Apostle of the Crowd on Friday night. That was awesome. So easy to approach a street person in San Francisco and just say, here's your miraculous medal. Here's your rosary. I'm going to teach you how to pray. This, that, and the other. I'm your friend. My name is blah, blah, blah. What's your name? Yeah. This is awesome. Introducing myself to the lovely street people of San Francisco, most of whom are high as a kite or drunk or both. Don't open your nostrils for these people. One guy was just laying in the street face down, wide awake. That's how bad it was. My other two legionaries of Mary picked him up, but then he just fell on his seat again. At least he was sitting down. It's a little better. I didn't want to touch him. I was mortified. Anyways, I got to learn to be a little bit more empathetic to these people. Write down their names on cards and stuff. Yeah. So that was pretty awesome. It was my first try. I didn't try very hard. I was just watching other people do it. Kind of a natural, organic way of introducing yourself to the street people of San Francisco. It's very interesting. I met an Irish Catholic and some guy who's into St. Jude. I got a St. Jude medal from our church yesterday also. So that was cool. I enjoyed that. And I went to Legion of Mary meeting. I started coming up with this conspiracy theory that the walk for life is actually, part of it is actually counterproductive because it results in increased surveillance. I didn't go into detail, but I did try to mention euthanasia, which is a topic that Father Mike brought up surprisingly on Sunday. I got to talk to Father Mike further about that because he said a couple priests in the Catholic Church are pro-abortion, pro-death. Father Mike is a pretty intelligent guy, even though he's leading people astray in many areas. I think he's the smartest priest in that church, honestly. And that's saying a lot for a Novus Ordo priest. Anyways, so I went to see Deacon Albert tonight. Oh, I had 2 Legion of Mary meetings. They were talking about the meaning of Christmas. And then I had that silly Mardi Gras gala at our church. They were playing rock music and annoying 80s pop music like Michael Jackson, Karate Man's favorite, Tina Turner, that kind of music. What's that song from the 80s? Now I got it stuck in my head. I feel for you. Shaka Khan. I used to have a I used to have a crush on Shaka Khan. I love that. I love that video of hers. I feel for you. Anyways, Shaka Khan, Shaka Khan. This kind of music. We're supposed to dance, and I was in no mood to dance. Okay, and then Father Joseph says, "Where's your tie? And why are you always grinding your teeth?" This guy's a nutcase. He doesn't like me because I'm anti-war and I'm not patriotic. I don't wave around a flag all over the church like these other people at church. Anyways, it's funny because the president of Legion of Mary, he makes my son carry around a U.S. flag that's taped onto the side of a St. Joseph banner. And anyways, I still need a ton of tax forms I'm waiting for. I'm hoping I can get a nice tax refund. I talked about how busy I was last weekend. It's going to get worse. Fortunately, they're putting up a new PA sound system in the church, so I won't have to do that Novus Ordite Lectern business until March, maybe. Right now, I'm just an emergency backup person on the email list. Somebody calls out with the doctor's appointment, or they have to go to the hospital or whatever. Hey, M8. Oh, hey, mate. I get it. M8 is mate. Karate Man's in the chat room. So I got all of Karate Man's recommendations. I had no time to update my own list with the Psychotronic Video Guide, A movies. So the bottom is just all Karate Man stuff. It gives me a recommendation every day, I guess. Karate Man's the only one who comments on my channel nowadays. Yeah. What happened to in Professor Quiz, Jeff Jaffe, I forgot the other guy's name. This is a video I was talking about. Can I, oh, here it is. How do I turn sound on this thing? Oh, here. It's just spinning around it like it won't do anything. Roddy Piper as a wrestler? Karate Man's asking, what are my thoughts of Roddy Piper as a wrestler? Well, he was one of my favorite wrestlers back in the 80s. I think I liked him better when he's fighting in Florida with Ric Flair, in hindsight. But I never got to see that stuff because I never got to see Florida Championship Wrestling or whatever it was called. I sent you that clip of George the Animal Steel beating the you know what, out of Roddy Piper and Arnie Anderson. um, I stopped watching wrestling at around 1987, I guess. Yeah, because I went back to live with my grandfather. He was pretty strict Catholic, but he didn't know anything about Catholic religion. He just followed along with Novus Ordo and Vatican II. Oh, Ric Flair's son died from drug overdose back in 2023, which I found out yesterday. doesn't doesn't Ric Flair sell pot? Because I saw him getting high with Mike Tyson. Not exactly a good role model. Ric Flair, all he cares about is money and women. At least that was his shtick in the NWA. I never saw him in the when he went to WWF and they switched back to WCW, I guess. I don't know. I remember he was in this video. They played this Smooth Operator song, and he's like in a limousine, all decked out in his alligator shoes and his 3-piece suit. He's got all these women dangling around him. That's the Ric Flair lifestyle, and I think it sort of bled over to his real life. He just wasted money on, his wrestling robe was so expensive. It was all sequined and everything, and I think in real life he spent money like water. And I guess they say it doesn't matter how much you earn, but how much you keep. Not in the case of Ric Flair. He's got the opposite attitude with this money. He probably went broke like Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson lost his mansion. And who's that other rapper? MC Hammer. Hammer Time. He went broke too. A lot of these rich people go broke because they figure out how to spend millions of dollars, I guess. I could never figure out how to do that. I used to wrestling back then, but I haven't watched any of the latest pay-per-view matches because Vince McMahon made it PG-13. Ever seen Abdullah the Butcher eating a live chicken? That's pretty gruesome, man. You still carry around this fork and dig it into the wrestlers' heads. Bruce Brody used to punch people for real. Bruce Brody match wasn't fake. and then Abdullah the Butcher would carry around this razor blade and just start hacking at these wrestlers on their forehead. And this one guy almost bled to death. And he's giving everybody hepatitis with his razor blades. Abdullah the Butcher is completely insane. John Cena. I never even paid any attention to John Cena. Sting versus Ric Flair in 1988. Was that when both of them were in the NWA? I think I stopped watching in 87. So all the stuff you mentioned doesn't interest me. I like George the Animal Steel, Abdullah the Butcher, the Missing Link, and Bruiser Brody. Those are my top 4. Who else? Oh, and then there was. I'm trying to think who was in Mid-South Wrestling during the mid-'80s. Yeah, I guess those are my top 4. John Cena? I have no idea anything about John Cena. You lost me. Vince McMahon got busted for sexual harassment, kind of like Don Trump. He had to pay all these people hush money. And he had to retire. Vince McMahon. I heard some pretty wild stories about his sex orgies at the WWF. I don't know if they're true, but it sounds pretty wild, man. It sounds like something out of Salo. All right. Well, I'm going to take my supplements, pray the rosary. 5 decades, not 15, like my son, and crash out. Tomorrow night, I don't have anything going on. I might pop by Safeway. I don't know. No, I don't have to do that. I'll wait until Wednesday night. I'm just going to relax tomorrow night, maybe catch up on some Renegade. I got through a couple more episodes. They weren't too interesting. Trump was in WrestleMania 23. I think I stopped watching after WrestleMania 2. WrestleMania 23. Like I said, I was more interested in Mid-South Wrestling. Mid-South Wrestling went out of business. AWA went out of business. I guess NWA became WCW. 2007. I lost interest in collecting baseball cards, comic books. I lost interest in wrestling. And I started watching cult movies. That was my new hobby. Straight out of high school. With the explosion of VHS, Laserdisc, and now DVD, Blu-ray, and now streaming. Now everything I watch is streaming. I never see any bonus features. I'm bummed out. Laters.